There's something terrifying about people, not because everyone is evil, but because you can spend years knowing someone and still never know who they really are. The person laughing with you today could be hiding jealousy. The person constantly asking how you're doing could secretly be collecting information about your weaknesses. And the person telling you, "I will always be here for you," might disappear the exact moment you need them the most. The scary part? Sometimes you don't discover who people really are until it's too late. Pause, think about it. How many people do you trust right now? Your best friend, your partner, your classmates, your co-workers, maybe even someone in your family. Now imagine this. What if some of the people you trust aren't exactly who you think they are? Not necessarily because they're evil, but because every human being has a side they don't show everyone. A side that appears when they're jealous, when they're angry, when they're embarrassed, when they have power, when they're competing with you, or when they realize you are no longer useful to them. And that's what we're exploring today. 10 dark truths about people that most of us learn only after being hurt. Some of these truths might make you uncomfortable. Some might remind you of someone, and one of them might make you look at your own behavior differently. So listen carefully, because once you start noticing these patterns, you may never look at people the same way again.
Number 10. People don't always miss you. Sometimes they miss what you provided. Imagine two friends. Let's call them Daniel and Michael. They've been friends for years. Daniel is always there. Michael needs money. Daniel helps. Michael needs advice. Daniel listens. Michael needs someone to talk to at 2 in the morning. Daniel answers. For years, Daniel believes they have a genuine friendship. Then one day, Daniel gets tired. He doesn't have the energy to keep solving everyone's problems. So he starts saying, "I can't help today." At first, Michael understands. Then something changes. Michael becomes distant. The calls stop. The messages become shorter. The friendship suddenly feels different. Daniel becomes confused. He starts thinking, "What did I do wrong?" But maybe Daniel didn't do anything wrong. Maybe Michael wasn't missing Daniel. Maybe Michael was missing what Daniel provided. And that's a painful distinction, because sometimes people don't love your presence. They love your usefulness. People can become emotionally attached to the things you provide without becoming deeply attached to you. Your attention, your money, your connections, your protection, your advice, your validation, your ability to make them feel important. And when those things disappear, their feelings towards you can change. This doesn't mean every person who leaves you is using you. People genuinely grow apart. Life changes. Circumstances change. But if someone's attitude changes dramatically the moment you stop giving, pay attention, because that's when you discover whether the relationship was built around who you are or around what you provide. And here's the uncomfortable part. You might have done this to someone too. Maybe not intentionally. Maybe you only realized you enjoyed having them around because they made your life easier. Human beings are complicated. We don't always understand our own motives. That's why one of the best ways to understand a relationship is to watch what happens when the benefits disappear. If the relationship survives, there may be something genuine underneath. If everything disappears with the benefits, you may have just discovered what the relationship was really built on. Number 9, people remember your weaknesses. When you trust someone, you reveal things, your fears, your insecurities, your embarrassing moments, the things that hurt you, the things you're ashamed of. You tell them because you believe they're safe, and sometimes they are, but sometimes people remember everything, not because they're planning to hurt you. Sometimes they simply notice more than you realize. Imagine telling someone, "I'm terrified of failing." You might forget you ever said it. They might not. Imagine telling someone, "I hate being criticized in front of people." They might remember that too. Imagine revealing your biggest insecurity to someone you trust, and years later, during an argument, they suddenly mention it. That's when you realize something. The information you gave someone as a sign of trust can become ammunition in the wrong hands. This is why you shouldn't confuse being open with being careless. You don't have to become cold. You don't have to trust nobody. But trust should have levels. Not everyone needs access to the deepest parts of you. Think of your personal life like a house. You don't invite every stranger into your bedroom. You might let someone into the living room. A few trusted people may enter deeper, and only the people who have consistently proven themselves should have access to the places you consider sacred, because once someone knows exactly what hurts you, they know exactly where to push you. Number 8. People can get used to your kindness. Here's something strange about human behavior. When you do something kind once, people appreciate it. When you do it repeatedly, sometimes they stop seeing it as kindness. They start seeing it as normal. Imagine you always help your friend with assignments. The first time, thank you so much. The 10th time, thanks. The 50th time, why haven't you done mine? The favor became an expectation. And that's where resentment begins. You may think, after everything I've done for you, while the other person thinks, but you've always done it. This is why boundaries are important. Being kind doesn't mean being permanently available. Being generous doesn't mean people are entitled to you. And saying no doesn't make you selfish. Sometimes the fastest way to discover whether someone values you is to stop constantly rescuing them if they respect your boundary. Good if they become angry because they can no longer use your kindness. That's information, and information can be valuable. Neither person understands the other anymore. Kindness is a gift, not an obligation. Number 7. Not everyone celebrating you is happy for you. Scene: character receives a trophy. Several people clap. One character smiles but looks annoyed when nobody is watching. This one is uncomfortable because sometimes the person saying congratulations isn't actually happy. They smile, they clap, they shake your hand, they tell you, but inside they're comparing themselves to you. Your success can sometimes remind another person of their own insecurity. You get the promotion. They wanted it. You buy something they've always wanted. They can't afford it. You get into the school they wanted. They didn't. You start improving your life. They feel like they're falling behind. And instead of dealing with those feelings honestly, some people turn them into resentment. But don't become paranoid. Not every quiet reaction is jealousy. Not every person who doesn't celebrate loudly hates you. The important thing is consistency. Watch how someone behaves when good things happen to you. Do they try to take attention away from you? Do they minimize your achievements? Do they constantly compare themselves with you? Patterns matter more than one moment, because jealousy doesn't always look like hatred. Sometimes, jealousy looks like friendship. You deserve it. Sometimes people are simply dealing. Number 6. People often treat you according to what you allow. Imagine someone insults you. You laugh, they do it again. You laugh again, they cross another boundary. You stay quiet. Eventually, they learn something. They learn that there are no consequences. Now, this doesn't mean people deserve disrespect. And it doesn't mean every bad situation is your fault. It isn't. But boundaries teach people how to interact with you. If someone repeatedly crosses a line and you never communicate that the line exists, they may keep crossing it. Sometimes you have to say, "Don't speak to me like that. I can't do that for you. That's not acceptable." No, and notice something. No is one of the most powerful words in human relationships, because the people who respect you will eventually respect your no. The people who only valued your compliance may become angry, and that reaction tells you something. Number 5. Being needed is not the same as being loved. Someone can need you desperately without truly loving you. They may need your money, your attention, your protection, your connections, your emotional support, your ability to solve problems. And because they constantly come to you, you may assume they must really care about me, but ask yourself, what happens when they no longer need you? That's the test. If someone disappears the moment they become independent, you may have been valuable to them because of your function, not because of your identity. Real relationships aren't built only around usefulness. They survive moments when neither person has anything to offer. Sometimes you should ask yourself. It's a difficult question, but sometimes difficult questions reveal important truths. If I couldn't help this person anymore, would they still want me around? Number 4, people reveal themselves when they have power. You can learn a lot about someone by watching how they treat people beneath them. Watch how they speak to waiters. Watch how they treat cleaners. Watch how they treat employees. Watch how they behave around people who cannot benefit them. Because being nice to someone powerful is easy. There is a reason to be nice, but being respectful to someone who can't give you anything reveals something deeper. Power doesn't always create someone's personality. Sometimes it reveals it. Give a controlling person authority, and their controlling nature may become obvious. Give a generous person power, and they may become even more generous. Give an insecure person status, and they may constantly need to prove they're superior. That's why you shouldn't judge people only by how they treat you. You are one person. Watch how they treat everyone else, because one day you may become the person who can no longer benefit them, and then you'll discover whether their respect was genuine. Number 3, people change when they think they can lose you. Sometimes people don't appreciate your presence until they experience your absence. You call, they ignore you. You text, they respond hours later. You make plans, they cancel. You keep trying, then one day, you stop. No dramatic announcement, no long speech. You simply stop chasing suddenly. Hey, what's wrong? Why haven't I heard from you? Are you avoiding me? Funny, isn't it? Your absence suddenly became noticeable, but be careful. Someone becoming interested again doesn't automatically mean they've changed. Sometimes people don't miss you. They miss having access to you. There's a difference. Real change is shown through consistent behavior. You shouldn't have to disappear every time just to become visible. Number 2, the people closest to you can hurt you the most. A stranger doesn't know enough about you to destroy you emotionally. They know everything. They know what you're afraid of. They know what you're trying to hide. And that's why betrayal from someone close can feel completely different. Because betrayal isn't just about what happened. It's about who did it. You gave them access. You trusted them. You believed your vulnerability was safe, and then they used it against you. That's why trust should be earned slowly. You don't need to become suspicious of everyone. You simply need to understand that closeness should come with responsibility. And if someone repeatedly proves that they can't handle your vulnerability, you don't have to keep giving them more access. Dark truth number 1. You never fully know what someone is capable of, and now, the darkest truth. You never fully know another human being. You can know their habits, their favorite food, their childhood stories, their dreams, their personality. You can spend 10 years with them, and still, there may be parts of them you've never seen. Because human beings behave differently under different circumstances. Pressure reveals things. Fear reveals things. Money reveals things. Power reveals things. Desperation reveals things. Loss reveals things. And sometimes, circumstances create a version of a person that nobody expected. That's why you should never put someone completely inside a box. He's a good person. She's a bad person. Human beings are rarely that simple. People can be kind in one situation, and selfish in another, loyal to one person, and disloyal to another, brave in one moment, and terrified in another. We all contain contradictions, and perhaps that's the darkest truth about people. You are not completely predictable either. You might believe you know exactly how you would react in every situation, until life puts you there, until you lose something, until you're afraid, until you're angry, until you're desperate, and suddenly, you discover a side of yourself you didn't know existed. So, should you stop trusting people? No. Should you assume everyone is secretly against you? Absolutely not. That isn't the lesson. The lesson is to pay attention, trust, but watch consistency, love, but maintain boundaries, be kind. But don't allow people to abuse your kindness. Help people. But don't make your entire identity about being needed. And most importantly, don't judge people only by what they say, but someone close to you. They know what you're insecure about. They know the mistakes you made. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next one.